But first, Alabama's Crimson Tide remains undefeated after bringing down the Tennessee Volunteers. Thanks for joining us. We're glad you're with us. Lynn Brooks has the evening off. The now Tide is now sitting at 80-0 after Saturday's victory over Tennessee. The Tide rolled over the Volunteers before a sold-out crowd at Bryant Denny Stadium, beating them 37-6. Now the Tide is gearing up to take on the LSU Tigers. Both teams are off this week to prepare for their battle on the gridiron Saturday, November 5th, and it will be carried live on CBS. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. WVUA Sports Director Gary Harris will have much more on the Tide coming up in home team sports. And even though the game is not for another 12 days, Tuscaloosa is already gearing up for this huge game. More than 100,000 people are expected to pack the Capstone for the big game. WVUA's Travis Leader tells us what fans should prepare for when they come to see this marquee matchup.
LSU tamed the Auburn Tigers.
It's going to go Ron Brooks for the touchdown.
Alabama pulled away in the second half to take down Tennessee. And now we are just days away from what some are calling the real national championship game. Jenna Johnson with UA Gameday Operations says this game could be historic.
This has been called the game of the century. Now, the century's not very long yet, but it is going to be the biggest game, I believe, that we have ever played on the University of Alabama campus. It is going to be the largest event that we've ever held here on the University of Alabama campus.
The hype surrounding the game has merchandise flying out the door in some local stores.
People have been talking about this game for 3 weeks already. We've been selling these shirts for 2 weeks, and they've done quite well so far. The hype is unlike anything we've seen before, maybe since the first Auburn game here.
Because of this upcoming monumental matchup, people are willing to pay top dollar just to see Alabama and LSU play at Bryant Denny Stadium.
Now, we do tickets to, national championships and Super Bowls. Of course, that's a huge demand. But just for a regular season game, no, we've never seen anything like this before.
In fact, on one online ticket outlet, some seats are selling for more than $2,000. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Travis Leader, WVUA News.
And Jenna Johnson expects a massive crowd to migrate into Tuscaloosa. Johnson anticipates around 140,000 fans from both teams on the University of Alabama campus come November 5th. Now, on your home team crime watch, 3 people arrested after a brawl at a Tuscaloosa restaurant. Early Sunday morning, a situation erupted at the Waffle House on McFarland Boulevard. Police say it began around 2:30 Sunday morning. Authorities say it stemmed from a robbery earlier this year. Sergeant Brent Blankley says the suspect saw the victim in the Waffle House, and that's when the fight got underway. 5 suspects have been identified and 3 people arrested. 21-year-old Brandon Harper, 19-year-old Justin Harper, both from Tuscaloosa, and a 17-year-old juvenile. Both adults are charged with disorderly conduct. Sergeant Blankley says residents should not be concerned that there will be another such incident.
This was definitely an isolated incident. Anytime you do have the weekends, you're going to have crowds. It's something you need to pay attention to your environment. If a large crowd starts to gather, call the police department. We'll clear them out.
We're cooperating with the local police in their investigation. We're always, checking on any type of videos that are posted, that are related to our company. So we're always looking into those.
And if you have any information, you should call Crime Stoppers at area code 205-752-STOP. That's 205-752-7867, and you could receive a cash reward. Now, on your home team health watch, fighting breast cancer. Happening right now, the DCH Cancer Center is providing free breast cancer screenings for women with little or no health insurance. Tonight's event is geared toward Hispanic women, but organizers say the event is open to other women too. One doctor involved in this event says regardless of the immigration status of the woman, women from the Hispanic community should be screened.
We don't worry about legal status in screening. I think that if it comes to treatment, then legal status becomes an issue, because that could impede access to insurance or other free care programs.
And the breast cancer screenings are going on right now at DCH Cancer Center until 7 o'clock. For more information, you can call 205-343-8493. DCH Cancer Center is also hosting another breast cancer screening on this Thursday, October 27th, and this will take place at the Maud Watley Health Center in West Tuscaloosa. That goes on from 3 until 6 o'clock. Call the number on your screen for more information about that. The Northport Police Department is mourning the loss of one of their officers. Today, the department held a funeral for their only canine officer, Bilo. This police dog died from injuries he suffered in the line of duty earlier this month. Officials say police officer Darren Miller and Bilo were responding to a call for assistance, and on the way to the scene, Miller and Bilo were involved in a car crash. Miller is still recovering, and he says that he and his family are deeply saddened by the loss of Bilo.
Pretty sore still, pretty sore from the accident still. My family's really torn up about the loss of Bilo and how this has all been handled, so it's been quite an undertaking.
And Officer Miller hopes to have another canine officer in a few weeks from now. In other news, hundreds of people paid their final respects today to civil rights leader the Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth. Shuttlesworth was laid to rest in Birmingham after a weekend of remembrances. He co-founded the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and worked with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to end racial injustice in Birmingham. The Reverend Jesse Jackson, members of the Martin Luther King Jr. family, were among the hundreds in attendance today. Alabama Governor Robert Bentley thanked the Reverend Shuttlesworth for his work.
He was a man who was not afraid of confrontation. He was not afraid to put his life on the line for a cause that he and so many others believed in. And he helped the rest of us to believe in it also.
Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth died October 5th. He was 89 years old. New for you at 6, fresh and local. That's what type of food that a group of U of A students say they want to have on campus. The University of Alabama Environmental Council sponsored a new National Day of Action called Food Day. Brett Hanna with Food Day says they want schools to buy from local farmers and use foods that support human dignity and animal welfare.